Hello, Fremont. Good to be here with you. Let's dive in. We're reading from Mark 1, 9 through 13 in the English Standard Version. In those days, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. And when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heaven being torn open and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased." The Spirit immediately drove him out into the wilderness. And he was in the wilderness 40 days, being tempted by Satan, and he was with the wild animals, and the angels were ministering to him. I feel a little bit of a loss. This is not the kickoff of the chapter of Mark, but it kind of is, right? What I mean is, last week we talked about John the Baptist. He was the man. And the gospel of Jesus Christ would not be complete without him. I personally don't connect with John's lifestyle, meaning I don't like the desert, locusts, or dressing in camel's hair. But that is all okay, because you know what? This week, we get to talk about the beginning of Jesus' ministry. Woo! Okay, so let's just set the stage a bit. John has been baptizing people while Jesus was living in a tiny town called Nazareth. Nazareth was not in the mainstream by any stretch of the imagination. And then he walks onto the stage of his 3-year ministry. He walks to the Jordan River to get baptized by John. He was washed, which indicates he needed washing, but he didn't. He did it for us, to set the example to us, for us to be baptized in him. And it doesn't stop there. Commentators name this as the first clear indicator of the Trinity. Jesus coming up out of the water, a dove, the Holy Spirit, descended on Jesus, and then a voice, God, his Father, says, "You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased." That is great stuff. Then immediately, by the way, this word appears 40 times in the book of Mark. Immediately. Remember that word. Immediately, the Spirit drove Jesus to the wilderness. The next 40 days for Jesus would be very intense. He would be tempted. He would be with wild animals. Ugh. And yet, it also says that angels ministered to him. Jesus knows what it is to be tempted. He sees and hears us being tempted. We can turn to him for assistance. He did all of this for us. Now that's beautiful. I mean, the vision of all this taking place at the Jordan with the Spirit, God speaking, and then on to the wilderness for an intense time of temptation and also being ministered to by angels. I am thankful. This whole book of Mark will be exciting to walk through and learn more of the life of Jesus. He came here for us. He had a plan. He experienced this crazy life and more for us. May we follow in his footsteps and live for him. Have a great week, Fremont.